lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Amen, 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 amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome to Let's Talk Show on Elation Radio. I am your host, Chanel Lynn, and special thanks to the lovely Miss Kim and Jerry Royce at positivepower21.org. Our topic for tonight is a continuation about gold diggers versus gold diggers and being true about who you are. And if you missed our last discussion about our topic on gold diggers versus gold diggers, I encourage you to find Let's Talk Show on Facebook. Click the link and check it out. But so in the last show on this topic, we talked about how gold diggers can be very artificial, and they can put up a facade and hide who they truly are in their hearts. And I believe that if we pretend or put up a front of someone or something else other than who we really are, we can miss out on that special person who could be fitting just for us. Or we could miss out on a real, genuine friendship that could be fitting just for us. And so, without further delay, for tonight, we have heavy hitter Mr. Q Ellerby on the show with us tonight. Q, are you there?
Good night. How was everything?
It is wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for joining us once again. As always, it's a pleasure to have you on. And so, what do you have to say, Mr. Q, about gold diggers versus gold diggers and being who you truly are?
Well, first of all, that's a great point, as far as like what you just said about being true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know who they are, or if they still try to find out what their purpose is in life and things of that nature. But on top of you searching and trying to figure out who you are, or even whose you are, but who you are, you still have needs in between those two times, And
right.
when you're in a search of trying to understand who you are, but then also at the same time trying to please your flesh, it's like, where do you go? What do you do? And oftentimes, catering to our flesh outweighs our purpose.
Talk about
that. So oftentimes we cater to what we want. That is not. That is not. It doesn't last
what
long.
We really need.
That's temporarily. We're living in a right now world where things are commercialized in today's society, and a lot of things that are being commercialized it has to be said right then and there. It has to be done right now. You have to convince me right now if I want to buy a product of what you have to offer. You have to convince me right now if this is something that I want to put into my life. Yes, I know I have a purpose. Yes, I know I have things that I have to fulfill before I die, but I want to please my right now moment, And a lot of things, a lot of times we tend to lead towards the right now moment in all aspects, even for men too. I mean, yes, I know women, could become gold diggers or gold diggers, but at the same time, we're dealing with desires. We're dealing with a lot of things that we want for our flesh to be to make us feel good, And a lot of times what we want to do that's long term don't necessarily feel good right now. It doesn't feel good right now, so we focus on the right now and forget about long term.
Wow.
And so, a lot of these, a lot of the women, we're talking about the women right now. Phyllis, we're gonna get to y'all in a minute. But a lot of the women who become gold diggers are focusing on the right now moment. So they tend to go to the guy who can give them or can please them right now versus long term.
Wow.
The right man in your life is going to focus on the long term, not the right now moment. Yeah, he may buy you flowers at the beginning. Well, I wish he would do some of the stuff that he did when we first met, yeah, that's all fine and dandy. But if you're only making $25,000 a year, and your bills are $25,000 a year, he's not going to buy you jewelry every year on Valentine's Day. I'm sorry, boo, he's not, because he's focusing on long term. Just be satisfied that the fact that man is working, taking care of his responsibilities, to make sure you have a roof over your head, to make sure that you're still able to wear those same pumps that he bought you 10 years ago. He's taking care of the household. If you want your man to do more for you, then you either A, you go get a job and help the man, or B,
or get a better job and help
better. But if the right man loves
work
you,
together as a team.
Right, but if the right man, if you're the right woman for that right man, and that man is the right man for you, he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that you have everything you need, everything you so desire to as well. All real men that I've ever met is working towards it. They may not have it, but they are definitely working. How do I know? It's because I used to work in a warehouse where these guys wasn't making that kind of money, but we talk at work. During the 8 hours of work day, we have conversations while we're working. And we talk about, man, I got to put in these hours because, for the wife, for my better half, or, for my old lady. I don't know why they call them that, but for my old lady, or, things like that. And let me just say this, gold diggers, it's your check. Because when he gets the check, he gave you the money. He gave you the money anyway. And
so
I
have a question.
Man. What's up?
So what would you say to a man who looks for that woman who has it all together? What would you say to that man to better help him? I'll say that to better help him bypass or to better help him understand or discern the woman who's a gold digger from the woman who's a gold digger. What advice would you give that man so that he could, bypass all of that? Because, a lot of men can be seduced or persuaded by the facade that some of us women can very strategically and very effectively put up that facade of being a true, genuine, good, virtuous woman at heart.
Okay. Well, what I can say about all that is be careful who you're feeding. Okay?
Say it again.
Be careful who you're feeding.
Be careful who you are feeding, okay?
Yeah. Okay?
Oh, wow.
For instance, right, when you're dealing with flesh and spirit and all that stuff, the spirit man lives in you, but then you also have the flesh. If you're constantly putting negative thoughts into your brain, right, you're feeding the flesh. But if you're constantly putting spiritual thoughts into your brain, you're feeding the spirit. Your spirit. And of course, you got the Holy Spirit. You can quench him by feeding your flesh more. So if you're catering to your flesh a whole lot more, that's what's going to grow. It's just like a dog. If you feed a dog, eventually he will get bigger and get either muscular or fatter. But if you don't feed that dog, right, eventually that dog will become skinny and eventually die out, right? So you have to be careful who you're feeding. So if you have a gold digger in your life or a gold digger in your life, and that is your significant other, right, whatever one part you're playing, who are you feeding? If you're constantly feeding that gold digger more stuff, what she wants, more stuff, she's going to expect more stuff, right? But if you're feeding that virtuous woman, feeding her. So when I mean by feeding her, you're catering to what she wants, right? You're feeding her, not the gold digger, but the gold digger. I mean, the gold digger.
Okay.
So you're feeding the virtuous woman. what are you feeding that woman? You're feeding her your love. You're feeding her with their finances. You're feeding her with yourself. You're feeding her with all of you. But if you're too busy feeding that gold digger, you're filling up that gold digger. You know. So
wait a minute. Pause.
Yeah.
How can a man tell, though, the difference? Like, say a man is pursuing for himself a wife and, you know, trying to, you know, approach a woman or in courtship. How could he tell the difference? Like, I understand that you're saying basically what I got out of what you're saying is for that man to make sure that he feeds his spirit man and not his flesh. So that basically what I'm getting out of what you said as far as that is concerned, you're saying that you're saying that man should feed his spirit so that he could, you know, discern the things of the spirit. This is what I'm getting out of what you're saying. But I'm asking, like, what can a man say or do to be able to discern or tell what kind of woman he's talking to? There was something that you had said in a conversation that we had before.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So, how do you know that you have a gold digger in your life? You know, first of all, you have got to ask the question, what's your vision? If a woman has a vision, listen to what her vision is. Her vision could tell you whether or not she's a gold digger or not. That would trump it alone. As you say, hey, what's your vision? And she says, well, my vision is to have nice. She's going to tell you what her vision is. And if it's talking about material things, there you go. There you have it. But if she's talking about this and this and that as far as like helping somebody or being an example, that don't sound like a gold digger to me. That sounds like a gold digger. You know, that's how you can tell that. But then at the same time, like I experienced something like, I don't know. I mean, she wasn't exactly a gold digger. You know, she wasn't after my money, but at the same time, you know, it was borderline because she was talking to me years ago. I was trying to pursue a girlfriend, and I talked to her, things like that. It sparked the conversation. She ended up liking me. I ended up liking her, and in the conversation, my mom was right there. We was at the buffet, got a tea at the end, and we was having a conversation. And the mom left. She said, "I'm gonna let you guys talk." And so me and her, we talked, have a conversation. We laughed and joked, things like that, having a good time. And I said, "I like where this conversation is going." She said, "Me too," with a smile. I said, with a smile, "Can we exchange numbers so that way, you know, we can talk and on the phone and maybe get together sometime? Where are you from?" She said, "Florida," things like that. I said, "Can we exchange numbers?" She said, "Absolutely." But before she proceeded to take my information or to write down her information, I stopped her in the tracks. I said, "But something I got to tell you." And she braced herself. She said, "What is it?" And I said, "I don't have a job." She said, "Huh?" I said, "Ma'am, I don't have a job." And I paused and wait. I wanted to say more, but I wanted to see her reaction. She says, "Oh, no, I could not talk to a man who doesn't have a job." And I was like, okay. She said, "No, I can't fool with you." I was like, oh, very quickly she got real smart, things like that. I don't know what she experienced in the past with her boyfriends. Maybe her boyfriends in the past was the type that was a gold digger, where they want to live off of her finances or whatever. But that wasn't me. I work for myself. I just don't work for somebody else. You know, it's not that I was unemployed. I was unemployable. I didn't see myself working for somebody else. I've always saw myself as working for me and not for anybody else. Because if you don't own it, you don't control it. I've been laid off before, and I made an oath to myself to always work for myself. And so I didn't tell her that because I didn't like how the conversation was going. And I said, "Ma'am, I just want to shake your hand." I said, "It's good to see you." She said, "It's great to see you too." You know, when I hopped in my car, I was like, was she after my money? If I had a job, would she want me? Because I could have got a job tomorrow. Like, what's up? I didn't know what was going on with that, but I let that go because I was looking for somebody who was willing to ask me more questions, get to know me a little bit more, see what I'm about, see where my head is at, because I had my hair cut, I was smelling good, I had nice clothes on, I looked like I had money, you know, and I did have money. I just wasn't rich, but I was taking care of myself, you know what I mean? Things like that. But she didn't ask the 21 questions. She just went ahead with her assumption and went on about her day, things like that.
So were you earning any kind of income at all at that time?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I was making
That's
more
what
money
I wanted
than a few of my family members who are men in my family.
Right, okay. That's what I wanted to get.
What I made more money in 48 hours than somebody made in a week, or 40 hours of work. So, yeah.
And that's what I wanted to get to, because I thought that was very important, what you said, because a lot of women who are more focused on money and material things, and not saying that we as a people, period, should not, be focused at all on money or earning money, because of course we have to, we have to earn a living. We have to, to take care of our responsibilities, and not just to survive, but also to live. But women who are gold diggers, that is their sole focus in life, is material possessions and things of that nature. And so women women who are like that, of course, that would be their automatic response. Like they wouldn't even be interested in if whether or not you owned your own business, which that could have been the case. You very well could have been making a lot of money, but not working for someone else, and so, the immediate response is, I can't talk to you anymore, instead of trying to dig further to see if, whether or not, you could have been some kind of, some rich man, or,
and I could have very
someone
well
who's an entrepreneur. Listen, don't just cut me off, okay? No, but and see, now I know that we're comfortable enough I can talk to you like that.
I know, right?
So it's great. We're really good friends, and I appreciate that. But a lot of gold diggers, they look at the outward, the outer appearance of a person. They look at your representative and not try to get to know who. If you don't look a certain way, if you don't have certain things, if you don't have that nice car, or if you know what I'm saying, things that basically material things that can easily be lost in a fire, or if you lost your job, or you know what I'm saying, anything that could have happened, you know what I'm saying, women who are gold diggers would leave that person, or not even bother to talk to that person. Or if you look like you didn't have anything, which most rich men don't. Most rich men walk around in regular clothes. They don't walk around flashy and everything else, drawing attention to themselves, And
right.
So that gold digger can miss out, and in my opinion should miss out on a good man who does have these possessions, because like we said in the last show, women who are gold diggers are artificial. They're very artificial, because those things are what they're after. Things and earthly or worldly possessions and things of that nature is what they are after. They're not after you as a man, or they're not after your heart. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not interested in you as a person. They're more interested in what you have. And so it's important to me to make sure that both women and men know how important it is not to be a gold digger, but to look for the heart of the matter, so that if those worldly possessions, which are temporary, can't, if they cease, God forbid, you know what I'm saying, but that woman will not just take up and leave, but she'll work with her husband or her man and do what she needs to do as a real, true, genuine, virtuous woman should. What are your thoughts?
Right.
Do you have any thoughts?
She
Okay.
didn't even ask like, you know, well, how was a guy who's well put together like not have a job? Like, can you explain to me, because you don't seem like the type that who's homeless or who doesn't have it together. Like, you seem like the guy who does. She didn't even ask me that. So because she didn't ask me none of those things, I walked away because it was scary. Because I'm like, somewhere along the line, you should have asked the question. Somewhere along the line. But you didn't. So, you know, you lost out.
Right.
You know?
Like, you know, me personally, you know, if a man approached me and that was the conversation, and then especially if you know, like you said, you were looking nice, smelling good, haircut and everything, nice clothes and everything, my question would have been, well, how in the world are you surviving? How are you providing for yourself? Where is your income coming from? You know, and or I'll be like, okay, do you have somebody taking care of you? What is your story?
Right.
You know, and that would be a good way to find out what's going on.
What's your story? What's your story? That should have been the question.
Yeah.
What's your story? You know, I mean, daggone it. I mean, look at the show The Voice. Look at Sunday's Best. Look at American Idol. They feed off of people's stories. Forget about the talent. Yeah, it's good to have somebody who has a talent, but they're looking for somebody with a powerful story. You know, like I was lost, but now I'm found. Like that kind of thing. You know,
Speaking of that,
yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of that, you just reminded me of a story that I saw on Instagram. There was a picture of a very nice white couple, Caucasian couple, very nice looking, couple, married couple. Looking at this man and this woman, they were married and everything, of course, you know. Looking at them, you would have never known where that came from. Now, this woman had her head on her shoulders and everything. You know, she had her degrees, master's degrees, doctor degrees in something. I forget what it was, but I remember that those were basically the main points in this story that I remember. And her man, who was now her husband, was a bum when she met him. He was a bum on the streets. And this story absolutely amazed me. Because nobody in their right mind, okay, would have done such a thing. Now, for this woman to be as humble as she was, because she was a high-class type of woman or a high-status type of woman, and you can tell by how you can tell even in the picture how she carried herself. And in the picture, they were in their home, rich couple. What she did was she not only took him in, like she had when she met him, he was a bum on the street, dirty, filthy, everything, had a sign and everything. We'll work for food or something like that, okay? I don't know exactly what the sign said. But she had to have had some sort of conversation, of course, with this man for her to say, you know what, I'm going to take this man in, and because I see something in him, regardless of his outer appearance, I see gold. I see a diamond in the rough.
Right.
And so she took this man in and cleaned him up and everything, and she helped him go to school and earn his degrees and everything, in college and everything. Then she helped him or encouraged somehow, some kind of way, she got him onto a high-paying job. And I think now in this story, they own their own business and are very wealthy. They are a very wealthy couple. You would never have known that this man, and the way he looks immaculate. You would not have known that he was a bum on the street. And so I think that it's important to focus on what you said earlier in the show on tonight. When you said it's important that and I take this for both men and for women, that we feed our spirit more so than our flesh. Or as a matter of fact, no, kill the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Die to your flesh as far as, you know what I'm saying, according to what the Word of God said. Walk after the Spirit. And I believe that when we walk after the Spirit, we'll be able to discern right from wrong, things that are good from evil. We'll be able to discern if whether or not this person or we can be led by God, you know what I'm saying, or led by the Spirit of God in order to be able to look past what we see in the flesh and be able to see the spirit or the heart of that person that we are talking to, regardless of what they're saying, regardless of what they're talking like, what they're smelling like, what they're looking like. We'll be able to see the spirit. Just like the Bible says, you will recognize the spirit or try the spirit by the spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
Amen. You have any further thoughts before we close out, Mr. Q? Do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, one thing I have to say is that the women that are out there, if you listen to the sound of my voice, if you are single and you're going through, just be patient because, and I know this is probably the last thing you want to hear, but just be patient because your turn is coming. And you do not want to take up a prize that's not yours, and then you wish that the prize was never in your possession when you unwrap that gift that you took. So just be patient, wait for the prize to come to you at the proper time. Because just because you consider yourself a virtuous woman or you consider yourself that woman to be with that man, that doesn't mean that he's right for you. You may be right for him, but he may not be right for you.
That's good there. That's good. And you make me just want to say something else to just further on the talk for tonight. My goodness. But that is very, 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 very good and very beneficial advice. We are going live on Facebook immediately after this. And thank you all once again to all the listeners for tuning in to Let's Talk Show on Elation Radio. I am your host, Chanel Lynn, and we will see you next Tuesday right here on Elation Radio with Let's Talk, where we are changing the world one show at a time. Everyone have a wonderful and blessed night. Thank you, Q, so much once again.
Ain't no problem. It was a pleasure.
All right. Have a good night.
Stranded, lost, just caught in a daze, branded, an outcast, like past thrown you away, broken, defeated, you can't seem to win, so you cry out, holy, because you need a friend. Stop crying, he'll be there through the night. Stop denying, he's able to change your life. No more hurting, joy comes in the light. I can see you breaking and praying that something will go right. Call on him and he'll set you free. Alpha, Omega, you're my beginning and my end. Father, my Savior, you're a healer and a friend. Master Jehovah, my life is in your hands. I am free. Confused, distracted, no focus to your calling. You're feeling useless, depression has you falling. You're praying, fasting, believing in the chance. So you cry out, holy, you need deliverance. Stop crying, crying, he'll be there through the night. Stop denying, denying, he's able to change your life. No more hurting, hurting, joy comes in the light. I can see you breaking and praying that something will go right. Just call on him, 'cause he'll set you free.
Alpha, Omega,
you're my beginning and my end.
Father, my Savior,
you're a healer and a friend.
Master Jehovah,
you see my life is in your hands.
I am free. Alpha, Omega,
you're my beginning and my end.
Father, my Savior,
you're a healer and a friend.
Master Jehovah,
my life is in your hands. Set me free. Said no more chains,
no more chains,
said no more chains,
no more chains,
said no more chains,
no more chains.
Said I'm free,
I'm free,
I'm free,
I'm free.
No more chains,
no more chains,
whoa, no more chains,
no more chains,
whoa, no more chains,
no more chains.
Said I'm free,
I'm free,
I'm free,
I'm free.
No more chains,
no more chains.
There are no more chains,
no more
I
chains,
see no more chains,
no more
it looks
chains.
like I'm free,
I'm free,
I'm free,
I'm free.
No more chains,
no more chains,
no more chains,
no more chains.
There are no more chains,
no more chains.
I'm free,
I'm free,
I'm free,
I'm free.
No more chains.